Hey everybody, we're going to make our goat's milk, oats, and honey soap today. And in the pot, we already have our oils, oats, honey, and goat's milk. I went ahead and put all these ingredients in because it's just going to help the process to go a little bit smoother. Honestly, I could have even put in the fragrance oil because the fragrance oil for this particular scent moves it's so well. It works so well with it. It wouldn't have moved the batter any faster or slower. It would have been great. There's actually no color in this particular one either, as far as like in the actual batter goes. We will add some color to the top just to give it a little bit of interest, but there's nothing inside of it. I did just add some lye water, and now we're going to go ahead and mix it up. Good. I'm gonna hit it with the stick blender for a while, so I'm going back and forth between the stick blender and then actually just stirring it. So that right there, I'm just stirring it with the stick blender. I'm trying not to get it too far gone, although it really doesn't matter for this particular one because since there's no color, there's no interesting swirls, it's all one cohesive bar. There's nothing going on inside of it. It doesn't really matter what level I get my batter to, whether it's, thin trays or medium trays. It doesn't really matter because it's all just going to be poured in and not have anything really going on with it. Side note, I know that it's been a while since you guys have heard from me, and I've just gotten busy. I'm so sorry, but I'm going to try to do a whole lot better and get more videos out more often. So I just checked it to make sure that I'm at a good blend, everything's emulsified and, together. So I just added my fragrance oil. I'm just going to kind of hand stir that in to kind of get it kind of mixed in there. And then I'm going to hit it again with the stick blender. That way everything gets fully incorporated and I don't have to really worry about any separation or anything when I go to pour it. I am going to take this to trace before pouring it because again, why not? It doesn't matter if it is a trace or not. But again, it just it helps it because it's just it'll set up faster. And I do want to do something on top, even though, and I just turned my light on, I realized that it wasn't on. But looking through the camera, it didn't really matter. Here I am just constantly stirring, stick blending, stirring, stick blending. It does take a while because it is a large batch. And again, there is honey in this, so you would think that the sugars from the honey would help it to move a lot faster. You can kind of see as I stir it, how it kind of starts to leave a trace. It's a very, very thin trace, but it's definitely not where I want it to be because again, I want to put some stuff on top and I want that stuff to kind of hold its shape. So it's going to be, a little while before I get there. Probably another minute or so, but I'm going to continue to just try to get this going while I'm doing that. Guys, I am so sorry. I know that I've already said it, but I'm sorry it's taken me a while to get some more videos out to you guys. And I'm going to try my best to do at least a video a week. I am getting close to that point where I should be able to do that. But just bear with me while I get this channel up and going. All right, looks like we're at a decent trace now, something that's kind of holding. You could see in the corner there where it's really holding its shape. That's what I'm wanting. So it's got a light to medium trace where, if it's right on top, it's going to kind of fall back in, but it will hold a little bit of a shape. And it's not because I want to actually shape the soap, like, do anything fun on top, but I do want to put some stuff on top and I want that stuff to stay. This is my larger mold and I'm so excited to be able to do this in this mold with this, it's just fun. So I get this poured in, and I'm gonna get the container scraped out here in a moment, but I'm just trying to get it recentered for you guys so that you guys can see what's going on. Again, this is just a simple pour. There's nothing going on as far as extra colors. It's all just gonna go in to this container. I'm gonna scrape my container out. I don't know why I cleaned off. I don't know why I cleaned it off so well, because I'm just gonna stick it right back in. I think in my head I was thinking that I was gonna, I don't know, maybe do something other than just scrape out the container. But I'm gonna get the container good and scraped out so that I get all of this batter. I want all of my soap. I don't want any of it to be left in the container. There will be, a little bit left. But for this particular soap, because it's just one color, again, just trying to get it out. The real fun part is about to begin. All right, almost done getting it scraped out. Then I'm going to kind of tap it down a couple times just to make sure that it's more level. And that's not really going to help the setting on top, which is fine because, again, I wanted it to be at a slightly thicker trace. So you see this isn't really settling, but it helps me to pop out a couple of air bubbles. You can kind of see a couple of them popping out there because I don't really catch it with my spatula. I don't know why I don't do that, but I don't. I tried to smooth it out a little bit better just so that there wasn't a super high spot. But, all right, a couple more taps down. And then this part right here is kind of a fun part. So inside this is just a little bit of like olive oil and gold mica that I'm going to put on top. And that's to kind of give you a sense of honey. I know that honey's not quite that dark, but I just wanted to, give a little bit of color contrast on top. So it wasn't just a plain bar. I'm going to give that a really pretty swirl, or so I think. It's a really pretty swirl. And what I use is literally a chopstick. It's just like a plastic chopstick that I don't use for food at all. Actually, fun story with this chopstick is I have several of them because one time when my family came up from Florida, we did a spicy food challenge. I think we were eating like spicy ramen. I don't know. I didn't make it very far into this whole spicy ramen challenge, but my husband and my niece were like right there. They tied at the end. But anybody who was in the challenge, my sister gave these chopsticks to. And she had some extra. She had like, I think 4 extra over and above what, who was actually in the challenge. And this is where I messed up. But I'll tell you in a moment. So I ended up with all of the, all the chopsticks. It was exciting. So I say this is where I messed up because see this bubble wrap that I've put on top of here? I put this bubble wrap on because I wanted to help it to have that like honeycomb kind of look, which I've done before with bubble wrap. Except this particular bubble wrap has like a film on both sides. There's not like one side that's bumpy. It's like flat on both sides. And I didn't realize that until the next day. So now I'm adding some oats on top. Again, this is all just for interest. The oats will come off like the first time you use the bar. But this particular bar is so soft. I love this bar. I tried to put the part that I'm going to cut as being the, like the little part that's going to be a sliver at the end. I tried to make that, it's at the bottom there where you see there's going to have the bubble wrap. But I didn't put any oats there. So that way I wasn't cutting through the oats on the end. Only had to cut through the oats once. All right, now we're going to cut the bar. So I went ahead and I covered it. I let it sit. And here it is. So you can see where it didn't make the bubbles. It didn't do what I wanted it to do. But I'm like, okay, well, these things happen, I guess. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my slab into loaves. And then after that, I'll cut my loaves into bars. But here I am cutting it up, and I'm in love already with this bar. And I love the way this bar smells, which is crazy to me because I don't actually like the scent of the fragrance oil. The fragrance oil to me is not it I don't know, it has a very fake scent to it. I know obviously it's, manufactured, but once it's like all done, it smells amazing and I love it. So I'm just going ahead and cutting through these bars, and yeah, so it's fun. It's definitely fun getting these bars all cut up, and cutting my last little sliver here off of the top. And this is what I make my sample cuts out of. So normally I can make about 8, small sample bars out of this sliver right here. They're a good thickness. They're really good actually for like leaving by a sink, for just like hand soap. They're great. Gonna cut the bar now into, which there's, again, there's not anything kind of fun going on. I did turn it on its side so that I don't drag those oat pieces through the soap. That way we don't have like streaks and stuff going through there. And here are some bars. And again, they're plain. There's nothing to them. They will darken up more like the top. But that's really, I'm going to cut another one for you guys so you guys can see more just kind of plain bars. Because again, there's nothing in the bar. There's no swirls, there's no different colors, there's no layers. It's just one solid color. So it doesn't really make sense to like show you guys every bar because every bar looks the same. It does kind of, you can kind of see how it's going to change a little bit of color on the outsides. You can see how it'll change. But I ended up with an air pocket there. I didn't tap it hard enough, but it's okay. It's just cosmetic. The air bubbles, air pockets don't harm the bar in any way whatsoever. It's just cosmetic. Cutting another bar or another loaf. And this is going to be the last one I cut because I only had 3. And then we're going to do the fun thing for me. So here's the inside of some more bars. And you'll see in a minute, like, the difference between, like, that a day and a half will make. So I made the soap. It sat overnight. I cut the soap. And then it sat for another day and a half. And then I trim the soaps. And I'll put my stamp on them. But I don't have a video of the stamping. So this is me trimming the soap. This is actually one of my favorite parts to do. To just, I don't know, it's just, it's calming for me. I don't really, like, I sit down and I normally have a few different soaps that I have to do. And I go ahead and just bevel them, trim them up, get those kind of rough corners off. I pulled some out because I'm going to do my litmus test. I'm going to test the pH of them just to double check that they're safe. And they look good. They don't look like they have any, like, they don't have any white spots. They don't have any lye pockets. So there's no active lye in it. They look fine, but I do like to check the pH of all my bars just to make sure that they're safe for you guys. After this, I do stamp the bars, and I normally stamp them the day that I trim them up. For some bars, I wait, but for most of the time, they go ahead and get stamped the same day. You can definitely see how much darker these bars are now than they were just a day ago. It's kind of exciting. But don't forget, everybody, to like, subscribe, and share, and follow for more.